Driving down the winding roads, seeking my bit of adventure, out here in the abode of clouds, are hidden some exquisite treasures. For until I have discovered them in the nooks and corners of my map, I won't rest. I am Cyrus, and I am on a quest to unravel the lost essence of India. Season 2, presented by Jeep, associated by whitehatjunior.com. Imagine a place that has mist in the air all through the year, where you can inhale the aroma of fresh leaves and flowers and feel the taste of the clouds. Welcome to the abode of the clouds, Meghalaya.
You know, whenever I talk about exploring the hidden gems of Meghalaya, people always tell me, oh, that place is halfway to heaven. But that's not true at all. This place is heaven on earth. But what I'm most fascinated about and dying to see is this spot, the living root bridges. Imagine bridges that actually live and breathe. That's just magical.
And what's a better way to explore and discover heaven than an open-air experience that lets me breathe in more of this world?
Mawlyng Nong is home to various different root bridges but scattered all across the region. So in order to get there, you have to go over quite a few rushing rivers. Now, interestingly, my map and of course these fences tell me that we are on the India-Bangladesh border. This side is India, that side is Bangladesh. Two different cultures, different thought patterns, different cuisines, separated just by this fence. We are now at the India-Bangladesh border, and I find this amazing. This is the watch which I own, and the time in India is about 10:39, and the time in Bangladesh is 11:08. 2 time zones, 1 spot.
This water is entering Bangladesh through these borders. Whoa, that's so surreal. A dip into these waters and one would reach the other side of the Indian border. Now that's as close as one can get without crossing over, I guess. This place is so picturesque that every spot looks like a corner straight out of heaven. But the place that I am looking for is the Living Root Bridge.
Alright guys, on my search for the living root bridge of Meghalaya, I have chanced upon this town called Mawlyng Nong, and I hope I got the pronunciation right because it is supposed to be the cleanest village in Asia. So let's see if their claim holds true or not.
When I was growing up, I was told that nothing inspires cleanliness more than an unexpected guest. But here in Mawlyng Nong, I feel it's the other way around.
You know, I grew up in a big mega city and cleanliness like this there is unimaginable. Yet this place, this beautiful hamlet or this village has achieved such cleanliness not because it has some huge civic budget, but only for one reason. Every person has taken a certain level of individual responsibility towards their surroundings and their own cleanliness.
So how did the culture of such cleanliness come about? And when did it come about?
It's been thought that it was sin of our forefathers long time back.
So all of you have a certain level of responsibility towards cleanliness, or is it delegated to certain family?
In the whole village, we have this some kind of social work. Like once in a week, we do social work to maintain the village clean.
Okay, so once a week it's
Yes,
properly
yes.
cleaned.
This small community here is a living treasure of women empowerment and cleanliness. There's so much to learn from the most unassuming places. So while I'm on the hunt for God's own creation, the Living Root Bridge, I am pleasantly surprised to have walked into one of Asia's cleanest villages, or should I say, God's own garden. And looks like this place even has God's own abode, a towering European heritage structure that rises above the rest of the village. Narrow stone paths approaching the white and black structure that oozes a special old world charm. This has been such a soothing experience that I am speechless. And I am still wondering, why would they term this place as halfway to heaven?
So I'm finally ready to explore the mystical living root bridges. And I'm told it's about 10 to 15 minutes from here.
But these few minutes we have all kinds of roads to experience. But then again, I have nothing to worry about. I'm in pretty good hands. At times I can't make up my mind on what's more beautiful about this place. The destination or the journey. After a lot of searching, we have reached a little ahead of Molenlong village.
And down the road ahead is about a kilometer down trek where we go and find our lovely living root bridges of Meghalaya.
A trip to the closest town might require climbing down into valleys and crossing flooding rivers to reach another village. And that would need bridges.
So this forest is just stunning. You hear these sounds. It's super loud, the sounds of nature. Now I can hear the river, but I can't see it yet. But the good news is that means it's close. And above it is our root bridge. So we're on the right track.
You know, I've always been fascinated while reading about them, but witnessing them for the first time is just magical. There is nothing like seeing this live. I have seen bridges that are touted as architectural marvels around the world, but this one is unlike anything else. A living root bridge. A bridge that's alive and breathing and growing, and I'm going to walk on it. That's the thing about nature. It can totally overwhelm you.
How many such bridges are there all across Meghalaya?
We have about more than 100 bridges.
Could you tell me a little bit about the history of these bridges?
We live in this place where we have huge, massive flow of water, rugged terrain. So we find difficulties in traveling from one place to another. That's how our elders invented a bridge. So most bridges, what we have here, they're like more than 300 years old. Living root bridge is a bamboo bridge. We have to plant a ficus tree on both sides of the river. So after that, we saw the roots are growing from the branch of the tree. So we took advantage of the roots growing, and then we intertwined with the bamboo.
So morning, tell me a little bit about the tribes of people who built it.
In Meghalaya, we have three tribes, the Khasi, Jaintia and Garo. So myself, I belong to a part of Khasi tribe called as the War people.
Right.
So War people, they are the community who build bridges. That's why we call now a living root communities.
Nestled between the valleys hidden by the greenery, this is an ingenious representation of man, science and nature, all coming together to live and coexist in harmony and create wonders for the ages. I cannot help on my travels to think of the early Khasi tribes who came up with the idea of the root bridge. Absolute legends. And like they say, being legendary is not genetic. It takes time, it takes effort, and an increasing level of awesomeness. And I don't think I have ever seen anything as awesome or as legendary as the living root bridges. Wow. Back in time, this place must have been a different world. Today we have expressways connecting cities miles apart. But back then, probably it was all just about crossing the stream or crossing over to a village on the other side of the river. Crossing the raging river was their need, and nature was their solution. They built these bridges that may not last forever, but will live forever.